I'd like to welcome everyone, and we have Michael Fitzpatrick, Jeff Chevalier, Katie Johnson-Aplin, myself, Angela Litchfield, and on Zoom we have Ann Golob. Has this meeting been properly warned?
Yes, it has.
Thank you. Are there any additions or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move right along. And the approval of the March 4th regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve? Or accept? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, ayes have it. Thank you. And now the March 11th organizational meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve or accept?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Katie. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, and ayes have it. And good evening, Jay. It's time for the road foreman and road commissioners report. Welcome back. I hope you're feeling much better.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Heard anything back from the insurance company on the Adams Hill Road Bridge? So I reached out to the trucking company today and left a phone message, so I'll keep working on them. We filled out the work permit with V-Trans for the borings at Loop Road and expect that to be done in early April. I was in contact with Fitzgerald Environmental about the project near the Green Iron Bridge, and they're running behind, but they'll get the proposal out this week. WW Building Supply has proposed trading the gravel from the stream that they will be removing this summer for some fill on the backside of the pit where Mike dug out the stream, or the drainage ditch. There's some kind of very fine silty sand over at the backside. That would be a good, be a good trade for the gravel that we could crush coming out of the stream. And anything they take from the stream, they have to either use it on site or they have to have the town use it. So it's the only two options for it. You can't do anything else with it. We have a salt shed meeting tomorrow, but with Ron Bell not being in contact, I don't think there'll be any updates. And we have switched to MSK for the engineering on the gravel pit, and I have a phone call with them on Wednesday. And they seem to be already getting ready to get started, so hopefully that'll move along now. And you can ignore the last one because Juanetta already had the form, so you're all set.
Great. Motion to approve the road foreman and commissioners report.
Another motion.
Thank you, Mike. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. Discussion. Katie.
Do we need to do something with number 4 to make a formal decision, Jay?
Sure.
Regarding WW? Does anyone have any living?
They have approval to go in the river and
Yeah, for the next 5 years, they can go in every summer and clean out the gravel.
okay.
Okay.
I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense.
Is there a motion to agree to this?
I make such a motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Further discussion?
I guess the only thing you don't want to watch out for is make sure you don't get with the Act 250. Because it's non-profit of the town,
Right.
and doing something like that, and it's going for, what do they call it, change to the public good, so you just have to watch out and screw us up on our Act 250 permit as we go going.
Can you check in on that, Jay?
Right now, they don't need very much, and it's stuff we've got to move anyways when we do the, we have to stone line that drainage area. So it was stuff we'd have to move at some point anyways. So,
Just to be on the safe side so it doesn't affect our application?
yep, I'll check with Bill Jewell.
There isn't nothing to doing right off anyways, right?
What's that?
You're not gonna do this right off anyways.
they need the fill now while they're doing the building, and then once they pull the stuff out of the river, then we'll get it back. The same amount back, so probably, I think he said they can't go in the river till June 15th, or the stream.
So maybe amend the motion pending a response from Bill Jewell. Would you be willing to do that to your motion, Ian? Would you like to, do you want to amend your motion?
Yes, please.
Okay, and will you continue to second? Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. So the motion is to, with WW Building Supply, trading gravel from the stream and trading it for some fill, pending Bill Jewell's approval. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Ayes have it. The MSK engineers, we had signed that, but the signed copy cannot be located. So is there a motion to re-sign to go with MSK for number 6?
I make such a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? It just needs one signature, so that's what we did
Sounds good.
before.
Great.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained? Ayes have it. Anything further on the road foreman and commissioners report?
I have two things.
Go for it.
You mentioned that you have I believe the engineers coming to look at Parish Hill, the work that needs to be done there as part of this state-funded project.
They're going to give us a proposal to do the work, and then
Okay.
you have to decide if you want to use them.
Okay, and how does this now, I'm trying to understand the process for getting the maintenance letter from the lawyer for Chris and Carol.
That I think can be done independently from the rest of it. So I think that should still be able to go forward.
Okay, so do you know where we are with that, Angela? Have you heard from the lawyers?
Bob is waiting for us to discuss, because they wanted a plan, but we don't have a plan because we don't know until an engineer goes out and does it. So that's what he's waiting for.
Okay,
The
but
scope.
you know what would be helpful, Angela? If Winetta could pull out a copy of a maintenance agreement that we've done in the past. I know we did one with Nancy Reese around the work done at her house around Irene. And maybe there have been others that the town has done, just to see what one looks like, so we're clearer on what goes into one, because I would think it's a pretty standard kind of a form.
Winetta?
I was contacted by Michael McGillian a few weeks ago, and he asked for some information. I did supply him with the contract that Nancy Reese had signed from the Irene incident when she had to take the responsibility. So they do already have that document. And
They're not the ones, that's not the point, Winetta. We're talking about trying to understand what we need for signing a letter with Chris and Carol. So my thought is to just look at Nancy's letter as a model of what goes into it. So to share that letter with us on the select board.
I could certainly do that. I know he has copies of the documents and is using that as a template, but I would be happy to share the email that I sent and he's using. So, yes.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the road foreman and commissioners report?
I just wanted to point out that I'm honestly sort of amazed that the town approved hiring of a new person for the road crew. I would assume that can't happen until July?
Correct.
Do we have anyone who might be a candidate that's in the back of your mind?
We'll have to put it out in the paper and post it on a few websites and so forth.
Okay.
Will be interesting to see. All right, anything else? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye to accept the road foreman and commissioners report.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, ayes have it. Following the road foreman and commissioners report, we had to appoint a road commissioner. And we tabled it until this week where we could have persons interested come and speak to us. And we do have Chris Williams is on Zoom with Jay, who is our current road commissioner. We have Todd Lawley here, also interested, and Joe Mariano, also interested. So we'll invite you all to speak and say why and are you still interested, Mike?
No,
No?
no, like I said, I
Sorry.
don't need to be called road commissioner, I just want to be part of what goes on the roads.
Right.
That's all I need, want to do.
So we will invite anyone who wants to go first to tell us why they'd like to be road commissioner. Any volunteers? Thank you, Joe.
I actually don't want to be this year. I'm just here to say that I think Christopher should stay this year. You know, he has a lot of knowledge of the town roads. He's been doing it for quite a long time, and I think it's a good fit. And we can revisit it next year. It happens every year, so I think for now it will probably be a good thing to keep him along. Especially, you know, if you do get somebody in there, have Christopher try to help that person, whether it's myself or someone else down the road. His wealth of knowledge of the roads of the town of Newfane is quite incredible. So I would just keep that in mind as well.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Can't even see Jay anymore on that screen.
Jay, I don't see Christopher though.
I'm talking about his head just swell up, so.
Oh. There he is. Do you want to speak for now, Chris, or would we like to hear from Todd Lawley?
Want to speak?
Supposed to say. I'll do the job again. I've done it for
That's exactly what you.
years. I can't answer.
And we have always appreciated all your hard work and what you put into the position. So, Todd?
The only reason I was here, or am here, is because there was rumor going around that Christopher was contemplating getting done as road commissioner. And I said if that was the case, that I've got 27 years worth of work on the road as a town employee and road foreman, and I was on the board of selectmen for almost 9 years. But I don't want to take the job away from Christopher. If Christopher wants it, that's fine with me. I just thought if he was getting done, that I'd put my name in there and help you guys out, whatever I could. So, but like I said, you know, if he's willing to keep it, that's fine too. So it's up to you guys.
Excellent. Much appreciated. Thank you. All right. Is there a motion to A, appoint a road commissioner, or B, have co-commissioners? Because we discussed that as well.
Both of them.
That was on the table last week, so we can either have A, when we talk about the fact that there used to be road commissioners, but.
What is Christopher's thought of that?
Christopher, what is your thought on co-commissioners?
Co-commissioners, two people.
No.
Okay.
I have to say, I always find it hard when I have a situation with two bosses to check in with. It makes it just a little bit more complicated. And then if they disagree, trying to get to an agreement. And I think Jay and Chris have done such a good job working together. And Chris has been available so quickly whenever there's been a question. I know on the few occasions when I've been involved with stuff around the gravel pit, Chris was always there. And I just say, let's keep what's working.
Are you making a motion?
Thank you. I am making a motion. I'm making a motion to nominate Chris Williams to continue as road commissioner.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it. But like I said, I'd just like to stay a little bit more involved in the roads too, because I see a lot of stuff that needs done.
Any further discussion, or would anybody like to say anything?
I think it makes sense to keep Chris along. The only thing I would say, if he is gonna step down, having somebody alongside him for a year could be beneficial to the town. Just to kind of pass along some of that knowledge. I talked with Jay about it a bit the other day, and said Chris seems to know every bump, every run, every spring, every rock, everything that we've got to deal with as a town. So, we don't want to lose that knowledge.
No.
But if he'd rather do it alone, then I say let him keep doing it until he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Okay.
I do appreciate Todd's help too, because Todd's did a good job on the roads when he was there, so.
I appreciate everybody.
Put a lot of time in
Yeah.
that town, everything, fire departments, everything, so. They ain't like you're getting big bucks out of it.
No.
All right, any further discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Ready?
All those in favor to appoint Chris Williams as the road commissioner, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I
appreciate
appreciate
you
you
guys.
putting your names in and being here tonight to discuss.
No problem. Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
See you guys later.
Have a good one. See ya.
Thank you, Christopher. You've now been reappointed as road commissioner. And with that, we will move right along to, also Jay, please extend to the road crew our thanks for all that they do, and you as well. And I'm glad you're feeling better and able to be here tonight.
They did a good job when I was out sick, and even though I was sitting on the couch texting them and listening to messages, and so it worked out well.
Good, glad you're feeling better. And good evening, Juanetta. It's time for the administrative assistance report.
Thank you. It is a recommendation to set up a different email for select board business and to not use your personal emails. This is what I say every year. I highly recommend readopting the current policies that are in place now until the preferred changes or recommendations have been reviewed by VLCT or the town attorney. I have those ready for you tonight, and I believe they were in your packet for review earlier. I would like to schedule April 1st for the select board to see the website presentation for the design ideas. I included in your packet tonight the proposal from Revised, which is the one that I'm leaning toward. They have some really good things, and then they support us after the design is already up and working.
Okay.
This Saturday, March 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 2:30 at Lake Maury in Fairleigh, Vermont, is an in-person only select board essential training. Will anyone be going? I can register you up until Friday.
Is that from VLCT?
Yes. Ted Brady's going to be there, Susan Senning, Paul Endier, Garrett Baxter, Joe Damati, and Josh Hanford.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the administrative assistance report?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Katie. Discussion. I can't be there on the 23rd, I apologize.
Winetta, would you do me a favor and the proposal from the web company, would you email that to me?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
And I think you should go ahead and schedule that for a presentation. I'm interested to see anyone else.
Absolutely.
Yep.
also interested.
Great. Is there any other conversation or comments about the administrative assistance report? It is a good idea to set up a separate email from your personal email. I did that because it can be used as public record and everything in your email can go towards that, so. Just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Any other conversation?
As a footnote, Melissa has documents that she asked me to mention that needs a signature, a motion and a signature for approval.
That's
From-
ARPA.
Yeah, from Brattleboro Savings and Loan.
Okay, we will do that immediately following the
Okay.
approval of your report.
Okay.
And then after the policies. Okay, all those in favor of accepting the administrative assistance report, say aye. Opposed, abstained?
Aye.
Oh, thanks. You're abstaining? Or you want it?
Aye, to the original.
Okay, great. The ayes have it.
Sorry.
I was pretty snappy on that, sorry. Okay, the ayes have it. Report accepted. Policy reviews. I know you're still working on the personnel policy. What is there an update on that?
It has to go over, I just have to follow up and get it done.
So you can report back at the next meeting? Okay. The purchasing policy. Any discussion? I would like to add a line in here that says that payment of projects in full after it's been approved by the road foreman and road commissioner, because I did not see that in there.
Could you say that again?
A line, probably, I'm not quite sure where we would put it, a line that says that payment is given in full after it's been approved by the road foreman and commissioner.
Unless the proposal has a payment plan associated with it, right?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Number 9 on the second page, all work to be completed as stated in the contract before final payment is made. Unless,
And approved by road foreman and commissioner unless
okay,
there is a agreed
approved.
payment plan, I guess. I mean, how do people feel about that?
Makes sense.
Putting it as an extended line on number 9? How do you feel?
I think it's important to make that clear for the future so that nobody's surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
So can we have a motion to make that change in the purchasing policy?
Well, I could just revise it and you can make a motion to approve any
At the next
changes.
meeting?
Yeah.
And we can do that.
Just make sure number 9 ends in a period when you finish with that. Just doesn't have one right now.
You can just send it along with the reading, it'll be fine. Any other comments on policy reviews? Or do we just want to vote on them as a whole when they're all together? What's here now is
Are you
what's
proposing that we vote on the personnel policy too?
not tonight, because Katie has to do a follow-up and hopefully have something on the first.
Does that mean that our existing policy is still in
Yes.
effect?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though
So the year before is still in effect, which it hasn't changed.
That's fine. They're probably gonna do employees.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I missed your last.
I didn't say anything, I just wanted to be sure that our old one would still be in effect. Because the alternative is to approve the old one and then when we finally get the new one finalized, to then approve that and it would
The new one.
off the old one.
So,
Just to make sure we have something in place, so there wouldn't be any questions.
but we're gonna make a change and vote on the purchasing policy, so maybe we could do the other two and the purchasing policy and personnel policy on April 1st. And tonight we could do the rules and procedure, no, we don't have to do that. The financial policy tonight.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll table purchasing policy to make that updated change and see if we want to vote on that. And then the personnel policy, hopefully we'll have on April 1st. So is there a motion to approve the town of Newfane financial policy?
I made a motion.
Second,
Second.
discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? The ayes have it. So this one is approved. So we can all sign this copy, or do you have it better?
No, there's multiple pages, so I'll have to tab them for you.
Okay. Is everybody okay with tabling the other ones?
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Do we need to do this one too?
Those are rules of procedure. Do we have to vote on? Oh, I guess we do.
Procedure for the select board?
Is there a motion to approve the rules of procedure for the Newfane Select Board?
I made this motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained? Ayes have it. So we have two tabled, two done. Okay, and keeping right along, we have appointments for the WRC and PC. What did you find out?
I was asked by Ann not to contact Maxwell Van.
You said you contacted him by email and he did not reply.
Right,
So you
right.
did contact him. So I checked with I'm sorry, can I interrupt?
Go ahead.
I contacted WRC and found out that Max had never been on any committees, had never shown up. So I think we need a new representative, a second representative for the WRC. I reached out to folks at the Planning Commission because that's a good match for the WRC, and James Bressor, who recently joined the Planning Commission, would be interested in joining. So I would like to nominate him for the second town representative from Newfane.
Great. So we can just send a letter and see if he accepts.
Mhm.
Do a motion.
Do we do motions to the others? We can do, sure, do a motion. I make a motion to nominate James Bressor to be the WRC representative for Newfane.
Second that.
Thank you, Mike. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, ayes have it. And were you able to talk to Kate about,
She would prefer to stay with the 1 year for now.
is there a motion to appoint Kate Herring for the 1-year planning commission position?
I make a motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, ayes have it. Okay, I think that is our appointments for now, and any open spots you'll put on Front Court Forum and the website
Yes.
that we're
Did you-
looking for folks.
Did you hear back from FEMA about the green up?
No.
No. We'll get on it. She's
You might
interested.
have a contact with her, so.
Yeah. She's usually receptive.
Okay, committee reports, Windham Regional Commission, Anne.
So, we all should have received an email from Chris Campany on March 11th, in which he talked about the fact that there is new funding that has been made available to the WRC to hire 2 consultants, which they've done, to work directly with the towns. So the governor, a couple of months ago, set aside funding to allow the regional planning commissions across the state to work with the smallest towns that had the either no staff or very little staff, and help them be able to work on different projects to give them more support for let's say pursuing a grant or whatever. And then about 2 months ago, the governor expanded that program and made a number of additional towns who are also relatively small available for those funds. So Newfane is on that second list, and WRC went ahead and hired 2 consultants, and then they divided up the towns on the list between those 2 consultants. So we were assigned to Gretchen Havelick, who I know, and she is terrific. She's the economic development person working with Wilmington, and she also works with Dover. And we had spoken with her when we first got the ARPA monies, and we were trying to look for a consultant to work with us on economic development. She was very generous with her time and her information, and I think she's great. So she is the contact for Newfane. I was at the Planning Commission meeting last Thursday, and we were talking about what the town might want to do with Gretchen if we want to go forward. So let me just divide this into 2 pieces. My proposal is that I would like to contact Gretchen if everyone's in agreement, and just find out more from her what kind of time is available as a result of this grant, what she can do, what she's been able to do for other communities, so we can evaluate how we might want to use her. Then in talking with the Planning Commission, there were, and I see that we have both Kate and Jane here, so you also may want to chime in. We talked about the possibility of using her time to help us figure out more about the housing plan that we've been talking about, and the fact that we've reserved this $150,000 in the ARPA monies. If we could get more help in figuring out how does one set up a loan program, are there other ideas? What can we do to try to advance housing in the town? Then the second thing that we talked about was going back to the survey that the Planning Commission had done 3 years ago now. The top priority of everyone had been housing, and the second priority had been the desire for some sort of community center, some way of building more community. So it's interesting to me that in fact a lot of our ARPA monies have gone to improving the 2 community centers that we have, Williamsville Hall and Union Hall. So we were talking about, well, maybe there would be a way to try to build a vision for what a community center could look like, an expanded community center could look like in Newfane. What activities might we want to include? One thing that I always really enjoyed that was on that survey was the idea of, could we build a skating rink in that green across from the jail? I don't know if that's doable or not, but I personally, thought that was a really terrific idea. So those are the 2 ideas that I was talking about with the Planning Commission. There may certainly be other ideas or other things that people might want to bring up that we could pursue with Gretchen. But I think that if everyone's agreeable, I would like to contact her and just get more information about what she can do for us. Or if people would prefer, I could invite her to come to a select board meeting. I'm sure she could make herself available to talk more about what these services might be and what we might be able to do. I think it's kind of exciting because, there are always grants available from the state, but the process to apply for these grants makes me want to pull my hair out. And Gretchen definitely could do that for us if we found grants that seemed applicable for pursuing some of these projects. So that
Okay.
is my request.
I'm good with you contacting and finding out and then having her come and present to us.
Yep.
How's everyone else feel?
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And I like the fact that because you're on the commission and you work very closely with them, that you are the contact person.
Cool.
Kate, did you want to add anything else?
Thanks, Anne. I think that all sounds great. Thanks for working on this.
Thank
Great.
you, Kate, for rejoining up on the planning commission. Thank you all. You're doing a great job. Okay, is there anything else? And otherwise, we'll just wait and hear back from you after you've talked with Gretchen.
Exactly.
Thank you. Vermont Agency of Administrative Municipal Technical Assistance Program.
That's what she was talking about.
That's also a part of that. Great. Just making sure. After Juanita's report, I was supposed to mention that Melissa had given us the loan forms for the gravel pit purchase, and it needs a signature. And it looks like most of them are for me to sign, and then one for Ann to sign, which we'll send digitally to you for signature. Does anybody want to go through it, or do we have a motion for us to sign?
Motion to sign it.
It's just to redo the loan every year.
It's the same one that we do every year because it's a revolving loan and has to be signed each year.
You made a motion? Mike made a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If Ann's got a sign, maybe Jeff should second.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That works for me.
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
We'll get that done. Sorry, I meant to do that before. There's so much paper over here. Scheduled members of the public. We don't have any tonight. Unscheduled members of the public? Again, we have none. Is there any new business that the board would like to discuss? With that, we'll go right into old business, and we'll start with Jeff on town beautification. Have you had any?
Have we had any more, no?
None?
Okay. Well, we have one.
I had one person reach out to me. I'm not sure if I told them to reach out to you. I'm not sure if
No.
Anthony has or not.
No, and I actually met somebody over at the town garage who wanted to look at the metal. He was very interested and was planning on submitting his application.
Maybe we should do another blast.
I think, yeah, I would propose we move it to April 1st and do another blast and see if we can get all the people who are interested to get an application into us.
All right, anything further on town beautification?
Should we get in touch or with the one person who did submit and just let him know that we are extending the deadline?
No.
Okay.
Maybe you should promote him and get others interested by saying, just a suggestion. He's got a wonderful design. Maybe include that in your new blast.
Well, I'd be wary because what if I do end up getting 10 applications?
Well, then you have to decide the sixth best.
Right, then it might not be him. So, It'd be very neat, give as a promotional tool to get others to sign.
Well, let's do everybody share with everybody they know. And we'll see what we get.
Everybody know.
All right, is there any update with FEMA and the buyout for the store?
FEMA, we're still waiting to receive the sub-grant approval. And I reached out to them and they said it should be coming soon, so hopefully in the next week or two. And that they would give us an additional approval so we can start. It takes some time once they send us the sub-grant approval, we sign it, they send it back, we send it back to them. And then they have to go through their approval. They're going to also give us a special, I forget what it's called, but approval to be able to start charging expenses to the project. And that they would then cover it while the approval process on the sub-grant is still going through. So that is in process.
Thank you for staying on top of that. Anything else on that? Any questions?
I did have somebody reach out and ask if we had any plans to auction off any of the things in the building or save any of the things.
You know, everything is currently owned by the current owner. And if there's any money to be made from auctioning things off, I would say they should contact him to see if he wants to sell anything, because we're going to be only coming up with an appraisal price for the buildings, for the structures, not for anything that's in the building. So if he wants to make some extra money, God bless. I think he should have the right to get that money.
Absolutely. If he declines and that stuff stays there, would be,
all part of the demo.
Yep.
well, wouldn't it be town property?
It would be town property.
I mean, if
But boy, I don't want to be, personally don't want to be involved in that, because there is such an unsafe structure.
I don't know what they can do at that time, whoever gets a demo.
Right.
Probably more than glad to let somebody take it for nothing.
maybe we could reach out to Deconstruction Works in Brattleboro and see if they would be interested in helping out there at all. That seems to be their specialty. They reclaim that purpose.
Deconstruction.
Deconstruction Works. They take apart old buildings and salvage as much of the material that's salvageable and
That would be great.
scrap the rest.
And then do they take the rest of it down?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll,
What's left in there?
Deli. Could,
Deli
make sure they put it in a bit.
refrigerators, like,
I have no idea what's in there.
I would say that we need to wait at least
But-
until the town actually owns it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But I would definitely, whoever contacted you, I would definitely suggest they reach out to the current owner.
Yeah, I will let them know that, because
But there's lots of equipment in there.
I can't imagine what shape it's in at this point, but.
it would be neat to look around, honestly.
There you
But
go.
everybody who goes in there should probably sign a waiver that they're like in their own hands. Right?
yeah,
It's not
Someone has
on
the
the
right to
town.
go in there, we don't own it right now.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. We don't own it, but when we do,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
I'm still
Anything-
trying to picture that intersection without the store, without the older building
The house.
being there, and what that might look like, because like, really, the foundation is supporting the road.
Well,
So I can't.
I do believe the foundation, that part needs to stay. That was discussed at the beginning, so that the road doesn't fall over.
Leave the
Right, it's
concrete
still-
and
it's
put
still
fill
hard
up
to-
against the foundation.
But is it
and-
stone underneath? Like, that building's old.
No,
Is it a stone foundation? I'm
It's certainly like
curious.
most of the old buildings
I
around
have a
there.
feeling we're gonna find out
Yeah.
someday soon.
Okay, so we will wait and hear more on that. And now we are in ARPA funds. We have the resolution for American Rescue Plan Act allocation. We had talked about this before. The figures have been updated. We just need to have a motion for the select board to sign on this day. Does
I make a
everybody-
motion for the select board to sign the resolution. I make a motion for the select board to sign the resolution to move the funds into the general fund.
Mike seconded. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained? And this will be signed today. Anything further on ARPA?
No, I updated the town website, or I mean, I asked, Bauman to update it, and it has been, so everything that we have agreed to at this point is all there. And, yeah,
Excellent, thank you so much. We already talked about personnel policy changes. We're gonna revisit that and hopefully have something. If something comes in before our April 1st meeting, could you email it out for informational and review?
Yes.
And that way we can be prepared to discuss it on April 1st. Thank you. Nancy Reese had sent us 2 letters. Has everyone had a chance to read them? I'm not sure if you received the one that was dropped off today.
I saw that it was, email.
Yes, we have one dated March 11th and one dated March 18th. And would you like me to read them out loud? And then we can discuss, or if we've already read them, we can just go ahead with discussion. I heard that you did make a site visit to the property, Mike?
No, I haven't. I was gonna, but I haven't got there yet.
I thought she said that.
I thought she indicated she had spoken with you.
I know, that's what I was
She called
thinking.
me once, that was it.
It says
Well,
She
the
did
first
call,
paragraph,
she called me
first
once.
letter.
But I haven't been out to the site yet. I think that's what I said at that meeting, and then when we was talking about it, she got hold of me.
Oh, I read it as that you've been out there, sorry.
that's definitely the impression I got from the letter as well.
I was asked to contact her and let her know that they would be setting up an appointment. That's probably where she gets the reference from. But she came in today and as of yet, nobody has contacted to set up the appointments.
I've been out there before, different times, and I bid it out and things, but
So what's everybody's thoughts? I know we've discussed that we couldn't do anything further because changes of the original plan were done. We've gone out and visited with different companies and people. Latest was the NRCS folks, and they declined to work on her property.
she did say, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
She did say in her letter that no one had ever formally offered her a buyout. But many years ago, when this issue came up to our select board, maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember exactly, I did go out to her property and I sat and I talked with her and we looked at the damage and we went through the whole history together. And I broached the subject and asked her if she would ever be interested in a buyout. And she was most emphatic that she was not. And she explained to me why in terms of the meaning that the house had to her and her family, etc. So it seems that the work that needs to be done, everyone has declined doing it. And I just don't see that there is a recourse for anything that the town can do, either in trying to get state people to look at it. They've looked at it. They've said no. Certainly the town can't pay for it. So it seems to me it's truly back in her court. And if she was interested in a buyout, I would support the town putting her forward for a potential buyout if that's what she wants. But I just don't know any other recourse at this point in time.
Do you have any thoughts about it, Mike?
yeah, what it needs is, it used to have a cement wall down through there. That was a dam out back there one time. I think there was a mill of some sort that went through.
Mm-hmm.
They had a dam. Well, somebody at one time took the concrete wall that held it from going up with the house. What it is, all ledge. I mean, you put all you want on it, it ain't gonna stay on it because it just slides right off the rock, It needs to be pinned to the ledges there.
Didn't they do that at one point and then it was changed?
Not that I know of, you know, I mean,
I thought something was changed by the homeowner at one point.
I'm sure they probably tried some stuff, but like I said, it really needs to be like a footing poured and pins that holds the rock or put that concrete wall back.
But the town has exhausted so many efforts with different people through the state and having people come down and look at it, and
That's like I
I'm
said,
not sure what
that
more
one
we
time
can
it all
do.
went out to bid, I mean, why nobody bid and looked? She got under everybody's skin that day, because she really carried on to a couple of the contractors. And at that point, nobody felt like working there because you could see what that job was gonna consist of. But I'd hate to see them go in and do a buyout just to tear that house down when something could be saved too. You know, I mean, after a while, we can't keep tearing down houses.
right,
And everyone you take down is one off your tax base.
yep.
I keep wondering why a solution of moving the house in a little bit and putting it on a new foundation is not a possibility.
Well, that
That
would
would,
I think-
probably have to be up to her.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
right,
anything's
but-
possible if you have the money. It just, to move a house is very expensive.
So what would the board like to do?
I don't know what we can do.
Would we like to have Juanetta draft a letter to Nancy on behalf of us stating that we discussed it and that she can keep working with the state folks? And that the board has tried and exhausted efforts?
Not the state letter, you go over and, the other side of the brook and blast that knob off. The riverbed, the ledge. The ledge comes up over there and then, you know, they blow that section so the river would go out that way instead of towards your house, it'd help too, you know? Instead of a hunk of rock all on that side. I mean, there's ways you could fix it without thinking you gotta tear the house down.
Right, she'd have to be in contact, is it Jensen?
I mean, doesn't
Scott?
Scott.
So what do we think, are we,
I
sorry,
feel
go
like
ahead.
maybe we need to answer this part of her concern, which is there have been at least 3 times that Windham County has been part of a disaster declaration. Endangered sites are individually considered along with the circumstances. Can we answer that portion of her question? Like, Windham County may have been part of the disaster declaration, but your home did not fall into that area.
Which is exactly what happened through NICS.
Right.
So we have exhausted and brought people out continuously who have declined the projects.
Right.
And if she wants to keep fighting the fight against them, to continue on. But as far as us, I don't know if there's anything else we
I
can
don't know if like our representative could help her with anything on that or not.
do. Maybe. But she seems
Please
to
say it
be.
again, Mike, I didn't hear you.
I don't know if the representative for right here could help with something like that for her. Put her in the right, maybe she knows some outfits in Montpelier that could steer her the right direction, but,
We can certainly recommend it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So is everybody in favor of Juanetta drafting a letter for me to sign or on behalf of the board?
yeah.
Shall we make a motion? Sure. And I'll be sure to include
To just answer that portion.
that portion, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's looking for us to address portions of her letters rather than generic answers, and I think that might help draw some clarity. I don't know that it will ever let her cease because she feels this every time the rain goes,
Yeah.
every time the river goes up, but I
Is there a second to Katie's motion?
I'll second.
I mean, really for what we've had for
Further
floods,
discussion?
you know, for what we've really had for floods, that house has stood pretty good.
Yes.
It's true.
And when I went out to see her, I did mention, you know, if the riprap above your house ever came out and then that side was exposed, that's when you're in trouble.
Right.
You're not there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get this out in the next week. Give us a week to draft something. Would everybody like to read it first or just send it out?
I'd like to read it.
Okay. We will send it out by the end of the week for everyone to read. And then hopefully get it taken care of. All those in favor of writing the letter and having me sign and send it out after approval, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, abstentions, ayes. We have correspondence letter. Is it in my packet already?
No, I think I might have omitted it, but it's the reoccurring Morris
The Morris
dancers.
dancers come every Memorial Day, want to dance on West Street between, I'll just say the library and Route 30.
They're gonna use Newfane as their last stop, and they're willing to put up signs, porta potties for anybody that comes to. It's their standard request that we approve.
Basically.
When it has Memorial Day, when is that?
They usually just take up part of the courthouse common.
Yeah.
They need
I've
to,
seen them
Union
come.
Hall and
well, the church.
That's a
The
good
church
thing,
now.
right? It comes around, that's good.
Is there a motion to approve the Morris dancers, providing they call the courthouse for their approval as well?
Yep.
Who's making that motion?
I did.
One second. Thank you. Any discussion?
That's the 25th through the 27th. That's when we're gonna do it.
And it just seems kind of early, we're talking about it in February.
Everything's early.
Holy Christ.
It's midnight.
I just hope we don't get that great big one in April.
Any further discussion on the Morris dancers? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, ayes have it. One at a leave, please let them know they're approved, providing they contact the courthouse as well. All right, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight and all the hard work of everyone. It's much appreciated. And especially BCTV for always being here and helping us out. With that, we'll move to correspondence. Stay safe and have a good evening.